Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's my privilege to welcome all of you to the 2023 annual meeting of the Economic Development Council of Livingston County. My name is John Vorhorst. I am employed with DTE Energy, and I'm the current chair of the board of the council. It's wonderful to see everyone here again at Crystal Gardens, wonderful venue. And we're very pleased to be here to celebrate all the business success and economic growth in Livingston County over the past year. I'd like to thank all of today's generous sponsors first. Our gold sponsor this evening is Lake Trust Credit Union. Silver sponsors include Comcast, ITC, Michigan Works Southeast, and Trinity Health. Bronze sponsors are Brevard Construction, CoStar, Corrigan Oil, and Thomas Duke Commercial Real Estate. We're incredibly thankful to these businesses and community partners that helped make our event this evening possible. And thank you for being a part of our collective work to build on Livingston's growing economy. The EDCLC Board of Directors is comprised of public and private partners who believe in advancing the mission of growing our local economy, building a robust workforce, and supporting smart growth in our communities. It's been my pleasure and a real honor to chair the board this year. I've got a great group of people to work with. Special thanks also to our municipal partners. On the screen behind me, we have highlighted all of our local communities that contribute to make the Economic Development Council a strong partnership throughout the county. Thank you very much for your support. In addition to our municipal partners, I'd like to give special recognition to the Livingston County Board of Commissioners for continuing their support of being a public partner for the EDCLC and the work that Spark does in Livingston County. We're pleased also to welcome several state and federal elected officials this evening: State Representative Ann Bolin, State Representative Jennifer Conlon, State Senator Lana Tice, Katie Mikowski, District Rep for Congressman Alyssa Slotkin, and Eric Keller, Senior Advisor to Governor Gretchen Whitmer. Thanks to our private sector investors, over 25 strong and growing, to help fund EDCLC programs and make our business retention, expansion, and attraction program a reality. These are companies that believe collaboration is key in order to create a strong economy to support their operations here. We thank you for supporting our cause. Our EDCLC board saw some changes this past year. Ron Long retired in June from Bank of Ann Arbor, resigning his seat on the board. Nathan Bird resigned as county administrator in September, also leaving a vacancy on our board for his successor. On a positive note, we welcome George King with Bank of Ann Arbor, taking over Ron's seat. We also welcome two new board members, Amanda Hootzy-Vickers with Lake Trust Credit Union and Donna Zalewski with Common Sale Investment Group. Thank you very much for joining us, and we're pleased to have you. I'd also like to acknowledge the Ann Arbor Spark team. We're here today because of their hard work and commitment to advancing the success in Livingston County. Since 2012, the EDCLC has partnered with Ann Arbor Spark to provide professional staff in Livingston County who have worked closely with private and public entities to facilitate community and economic development activities, implement strategic initiatives, as well as collaborations to the benefit of our local employers, our schools, and all Livingston County communities. Thank you very much for staging another wonderful event. Let's give a round of applause to the Ann Arbor Spark team for this. It's now my pleasure to welcome Nick Jablonski with Ann Arbor Spark to present this year's awards. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I have the honor to introduce a couple awards tonight. Our first up is the Howell Chamber of Commerce for the Resilience Award. The Innovation Center for Business Hub is a multifaceted to bridge business and education resources, providing a space for businesses to connect, grow, and learn. The Howell Chamber has transformed their existing building into an innovation center which will feature co-working space, access to hybrid conference room space, and individual office suites. Through this space, businesses and entrepreneurs can grow and prosper in the Livingston County region. Phase 1 of this project includes updating flooring, paint, and lighting. The major portions of the renovation include an open kitchen area, as well as co-working space. Future phases of the project include building out the basement and hiring a full-time workforce development coordinator. Having a business innovation hub at the heart of Livingston County positions our county as a leader in providing business services and can be utilized as a tool to drive economic development. Congratulations to this year's Resilience Award and newly announced recipient of the Small Business Support Hub Grant, the Howell Chamber of Commerce. Please come to the stage. Our next award is the Talent Innovator Award. In 2022, the Brighton Area Schools opened the Science, Technology, Engineering, Arts, and Mathematics Center located at the Brighton High School grounds. The 2,000 square foot building is designed to provide framework for students to learn how to think critically, solve problems, and be more creative in an ever-growing STEAM, and career path. The $4 million state-of-the-art facility includes $1.5 million of equipment through automotive technology, robotics, graphic arts, fabrication, industrial manufacturing, computer lab, life science, and collaboration space. Congratulations to this year's Talent Innovator Award, the Brighton STEAM Center. Please come to the stage to accept your award. Our Project of the Year award goes to Motorsports Gateway of Howell. Motorsports Gateway is regional economic development destination project that will bring a high-performance racetrack development onto its 273 acres along 96 in the city of Howell. The father-son development team, Mark and Jordan, purchased the land with the vision of building an automotive country club. The development will consist of 2.5-mile European-style driving circuit, clubhouse, 1,200 square foot garage condos that can be also custom designed interior and exterior with balconies. Future phases of the development include 80 acres of commercial development that can be support new restaurants and other entertainment venues, as well as land to support future industrial and R&D activities along Lucy Road. We celebrate the completion of phase 1 of this project, a $70 million investment. When complete, the entire project, upwards of $100 million investment to the region, as well as over 600 jobs. This year, the Project of the Year goes to Motorsports Gateway. You sure? Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good evening. What is a business champion? When I asked ChatGPT, the response was this: someone who actively and passionately supports and uplifts local businesses within a community. This individual not only runs their own small business, but also goes the extra mile to connect with and contribute to the broader local business ecosystem. Essentially, they're the heartbeat of local economic vitality, fostering relationships and creating a sense of unity among small businesses. Earlier this year, the Howell and Greater Livingston community lost a key community and business leader, Rick Schofield. Rick owned the automotive supplier business, which his family began over 70 years ago in Howell, Michigan, and developed it into May and Schofield Electronics. Rick served on numerous nonprofit boards, 11 to be exact, throughout the county. He loves serving others and putting his time and energy into his community. In 2013, Rick was recruited to join the EDC-LC board. At that time, he was serving on the executive committee of Advantage Livingston, a county-wide initiative under the joint collaboration of the Howell, Harland, and Greater Brighton Chambers of Commerce. Rick served as chairman of the EDC-LC board in 2015 and ultimately served 2 terms before stepping down in 2019 to focus his work with SCORE and health. Rick was a certified SCORE volunteer. He gave his time to provide free help to those looking to start or expand a business. He was very proud of those that successfully launched a venture and very proud of those who made the decision not to start a business for the right reasons. Rick loved mentoring people. He spent his last years doing what he loved as a SCORE consultant. Rick's memory and legacy is threaded through every word of this definition. He was a heartbeat for Livingston County. He championed community and economic vitality. He listened, supported, and guided small business owners and entrepreneurs. Rick Schofield passed away from complications related to multiple myeloma on May 16, 2023. He was 71. Rick's legacy lives on through his wife, Mary, his children, Marta, Kate, and Ryan, and his granddaughter, Lily and Joy, and so many others he inspired throughout his life's work. I am privileged to announce the first EDC-LC Business Champion Award in memory of Rick Schofield. And at this time, I invite Nick Proctor and Pat Convery to accept the award on behalf of Rick's family. At this time, I'll invite Phil Sander to the stage.
Thank you, Marcia. Congratulations again to this year's annual meeting award recipients, the Brighton STEAM Center, the Howell Chamber of Commerce, Motorsports Gateway. I also personally appreciate the ability to honor and remember Rick Schofield through the Business Champion Award. These awardees represent the innovations that will keep moving the county forward and are a positive reflection of the EDC-LC's efforts. For the past 13 years, it has been Ann Arbor Sparks' privilege to partner with the EDC-LC in helping to execute its vision and mission of retaining, attracting, and growing businesses. We're proud of the work we've done this year to help businesses grow and create jobs. We've also been working hard to make sure that everyone in Livingston County can succeed. Our team couldn't accomplish all that we do without the support of our partner organizations. I'd like to recognize and thank our key partners, including the MEDC, Michigan Works Southeast, the Small Business Development Center, our local chambers of commerce, and LESA. Your partnership, collaboration, and resources made available to local businesses is invaluable to us. 2023 has been an interesting year for economic development in the state, as well as here in Livingston County. Our project pipeline of local expansion projects fluctuated a lot this year, with businesses choosing to hold another year to see if interest rates decline or if other economic indicators change in 2024 and beyond. We celebrated a large success tonight, the Motorsports Gateway project in Howell. Once completed, the project could generate $70 million in new investment along the 96 corridor in Howell and create several new jobs. Future phases can add to the positive impact of the project over the next 3 to 5 years. This year, our team held 63 retention meetings with companies representing roughly 7,700 employees in the county and offered 70 successful referrals to state or other local resources. The results are even more significant when we look at the past decade. Since 2012, Spark has supported 60 projects resulting in over 1,500 new jobs and more than $340 million in private sector investment. The Spark Livingston team also worked with 4 new businesses that chose to locate and invest in Livingston County this year. Each of these businesses moved into available industrial space, keeping the occupancy rate high countywide. We ensured that each business was connected to all available resources and plugged into the local ecosystem. And while we might not have the bandwidth to meet with every new business that locates here, these 4 represent healthy job creation, with over 175 new jobs expected throughout the next year. Our strategic work with the City of Brighton concludes at the end of 2023 after a successful 3-year partnerships. This unique and innovative relationship with the city to conduct economic development locally and focus on small commercial businesses was recognized as Spark's overall project of the year in 2021. During her tenure, Denise Murray worked on 8 successful capital investment projects in downtown Brighton, was awarded a federal grant to create an app to support local retailers, and hosted a citywide broker tour to bring new eyes onto development opportunities for underutilized properties. In 2022, Denise ramped up her efforts to educate and create resources for businesses along Main Street ahead of the year-long road closure for the planned streetscape project. Throughout the closure of Main Street, Denise planned events to bring crowds downtown, including the Digging for Gold event, the Harvest Moon event, and her final event to mark the reopening of Main Street. Her accomplishments in Brighton will continue to be used as best practices for Spark's work strategically with our partner communities. We saw a lot of grant activity in 2023 as ARPA funds continue to trickle through the state and federal budgets. Serving as the primary economic development agency for our region, our team promoted grant opportunities as well as helped prepare letters of support for our communities, local businesses, and organizational partners. By way of funding allocated to Spark, our business development team successfully partnered with Toyota, Brighton-based Novi Precision, and other businesses to launch a new chapter of the Federation for Advanced Manufacturing Education, or FAME, as is easier to say. The inaugural cohort of the Advanced Manufacturing Technician Training Program recently kicked off at Washtenaw Community College this fall. We're proud of this regional partnership as it will equip students with the skills required for the rapidly evolving manufacturing industry and provide a debt-free path to an associate's degree. Our team has no plans to slow down. We look forward to continuing the partnership that we have here in Livingston County. And I would now like to re-welcome Marcia back to kick off tonight's panel discussion. Thank you.
Thanks, Phil. I'm pleased to present Stacy Masick as this evening's moderator for our panel discussion. Stacy joined the EDC-LC board on behalf of Corrigan Oil. She has a rich passion for placemaking and strategic community development, was first ignited playing Monopoly with her dad at the age of 6. In her early professional career, Stacy swiftly established herself as a tenacious achiever within Corrigan Oil, tackling many roles during her tenure. In her first outside sales role as the head of sales, NAM for A2 Mac 1, I'm sure there's, everybody has acronyms in their industry. A leading automotive benchmarking firm, Stacy led her team to remarkable quarter-over-quarter internal rate of return growth. Recognizing her true calling in commercial real estate, she transitioned to CoStar Group, the world's largest commercial real estate data and analytics company. CoStar's unparalleled data refined her market insight and understanding of commercial real estate trends. Stacy made her return to Corrigan in January of 23 as the Senior Manager of Property Management for BMH Realty, where she will strive to be a catalyst for the alignment of the Corrigan network of companies, local and state municipal initiatives, and private investment activities with the goal of sustainable and collaborative growth in our community. Stacy, the stage is yours.
Hi. Thanks, Marcia, and thanks for having me. Tonight's panel discussion will feature topics from what has been a success here, why Livingston County, everything from unique opportunities that might be available now or future opportunities that might come available to anyone looking to join us here. With that being said, I'm really excited for this panel discussion, but that's because I already know the questions. I'd like to have a few people join me up here. First, David Snodgrass from Lake Trust Credit Union. John Chwalabog from VTS. Mark Sarafa from Pop Daddy Snacks. And Suzanne Morrison from Hatch Stamping. Welcome, everybody. Happy to not be alone. To get started, if you could just kind of go down the line, let's briefly introduce your business, your core offerings, and kind of what inspired you to start.
Sure. My name is Suzanne Morrison, and I work for Hatch Stamping Company. Our corporate headquarters are in Chelsea. However, we are a global company. We are a precision metal stamper. We also offer welding, assembly, wire, and tubular services to the automotive industry. We have about 1,300 employees. We have locations here in Howell as well as Fowlerville. We just did a new warehouse in Williamston, and we are in Tennessee, Mexico, and China.
So my name is Mark Sarafa, co-founder of Pop Daddy Snacks with my wife Erin and my son JT here tonight. We make and produce seasoned popcorn and seasoned pretzels. We are sold in all 50 states, 4 countries. We have about 95 employees, and we're right here down on Door Road, just exactly 1 mile from here. So we've been in Livingston County for about 6 years. We started out in Highland, Michigan for a couple years, then moved to Whitmore Lake or Green Oak Township, and then recently moved up here in Howell just over a year ago. So excited to be here and appreciate the opportunity.
Hello, my name is John Schwalabach. I'm the CEO and founder of VTS. VTS is a technology company. We've developed a SaaS-based app and portal that enables 3D capture of critical infrastructure assets. We're highly focused on things like telecom facilities, power stations, substations, critical infrastructure. In addition to developing the technology, we also do 3D capture at scale. We've got a national workforce. We've got about 15 employees and a network of about 100 subcontractors that have their drone licenses and know how to do 3D capture.
Good evening. I'm David Snodgrass. I'm the president and CEO of Lake Trust Credit Union. Lake Trust Credit Union is a 13-year-old company, a product of a merger of 2 credit unions, one based in Lansing and another based in Plymouth, Michigan. And we've made Livingston County our home for approximately the past 10 years now. We are a $2.6 billion organization. We serve approximately 200,000 individual consumers and small businesses, employ a team of about 500 employees, and operate 21 locations across the state of Michigan today.
Okay, first real question. Location choice. Everyone here is operating out of Livingston County, so why Livingston County? And were there any particular incentives or factors that made you choose this location versus others? David, if we could start with you.
Sure. So as I mentioned earlier, we're the product of a merger of 2 organizations, neither of which was headquartered in Livingston County. And I joined the company 1 year after that merger, and the first order of business was to site select and develop a corporate headquarters for our combined organization. Neither of the locations in the portfolio were of significant enough size to handle the growth of our organization. And so our process started maybe a little bit unorthodox in its approach. But what we decided to do was to do a drive time study of the locations, options and locations across the state, of a drive time study of all of our corporate headquarter staff members. So we plotted all of their home addresses and did a drive time study to try to triangulate into a region or an area that would allow for the most advantageous commute for the most number of our headquarters employees. So ultimately, Livingston County kind of emerged, as it might make logical sense if I said one location was in Lansing and the other was in Plymouth. But selecting in Livingston County, and particularly along a couple of exits on I-96, resulted in the vast majority, something in excess of 85% of our headquarter employees having a commute time of 50 minutes or less. And that really led us to begin exploring opportunities to build a headquarters in Livingston County. In terms of incentive, we settled relatively quickly on a property where we have built our headquarters today. You may be familiar with our building at Old 23 and Spencer Road in Brighton. And though we identified that property and worked with Phil and his team at Spark to help secure that property, there was one significant challenge in that site did not have municipal water. And so we entered into what I think was a rather unique, and I think if Lana was here, I don't think she is, I didn't see her, she would attest, and Ann would as well, because both were with Brighton Township at the time, a public-private partnership where we had to run municipal water from Old 23 and Grand River Avenue about a mile, a little over a mile plus to the site where our headquarters is today. And that was unique. We split the cost. This was a multi-million-dollar project just to get this utility to the site in order for us to construct. And it was a very, Lana would attest today to saying it was one of the most successful private-public partnerships that actually delivered on its promise. And in no small part, Spark was instrumental in helping make that come together for us.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
So our story's a lot different. Where my wife and I, we've lived here since 2000. We've got 5 kids, raised our family here. We love being in Livingston County. And so when we started VTS in 2017, we knew we wanted to plant our roots here. We're a very remote company. We have staff all over the country, but we wanted to have a place where we could bring people in and together. We do a big annual meeting every year, and then we're bringing different teams in once a quarter. And to have what we have here in Livingston County is absolutely amazing. We have people on staff that have traveled the world and rave about Becker Brewery. It's one of the best breweries they've ever been to. Can't wait to come back. We've done team building events at the Howell Nature Center, downtown Howell restaurants, Silver Pick. So it was really about us trying to create that kind of home feel for our staff and employees when we do come together, that they felt comfortable, there were things to do, and it was an opportunity to bond together. So it was really a no-brainer for us. We got a lot of pressure from the so-called experts that as a tech-based kind of company, we probably needed to go maybe to Ann Arbor or go east to Novi or Livonia or some of those bigger communities. And we said, no, we're going to plant our roots here.
Thank you.
So our story is a lot less sophisticated than David's as well. I kind of drove around looking at different properties when it was time to expand. I saw a sign and I called the landlord and he let me in to go look at it, and I said, this is it. But I'll tell you what happened after that. We are in Genoa Township, way off the beaten path, just kind of next to the prison. As a matter of fact, when I give people directions, I'm like, if you pass the guard check, you've gone too far. You've got to turn around and come back. But about 2 months after we were there, I got a call from Marcia, and I'm like, I have no idea who this person is. I have no idea how they know we're even here. And she came out to see us, and after she left, she told me about a bunch of programs. We were very, very small at the time, and probably wasn't going to be able to use any of them at the time. But she stayed in touch, and we started using a lot of the programs. We've got some grants. Marcia wrote me a wonderful letter of recommendation for our first grant, which really changed the face of our company. But when we're looking to move out of that 9,000 feet we had there into a bigger place, I thought back about that, and there's no way we're going to get that type of attention in an Oakland County or a Wayne County. There's just no way. And so, we're a small fish, but we got a lot of attention, and that's really, I think, what drove us to stay in Livingston County and move to Howell.
So Hatch Stamping is over 70 years old, and it started in the basement of a home, then moved to Chelsea, went to Dexter, then to Chelsea, and we needed to grow, and we were looking for skilled workers in a community, and so we selected Howell for those reasons.
So most of you did mention Spark as a part of your location choices. What other, or if you want to highlight a story with Spark, local resources, networks, support organizations are you a part of? Would you recommend? And what has been best way for you to leverage those for your business?
Okay, so I wrote mine down, and I hope I didn't forget anybody. The list is very long. It's everything from United Way to La Casa to Let's to Ann Arbor Spark to the chambers, all of the schools. We try to participate as much as we can in the schools because they mean future employees for us. Michigan Works, Work Skills, LESA, the Livingston Manufacturing Collaborative, the LESA Education and Employer Advisory Board. Personally, I participate in a group called EDGE that comes out of the Howell Chamber, and it's wonderful. We use temp agencies and things like essential personnel and manpower and qualified staffing, and we use local eateries. We have many celebrations, so things like Tomato Brothers and Angelo's and all those great places. Rotary groups, Lake Trust, there's just such a whole community that help us build what we need to build here in Livingston County. And those organizations help us obtain good employees, retain employees. They help us service them in a way that we can't service them in some cases. So the list goes on and on. If I forgot someone, I'm really sorry, but we are very appreciative of all the services. One of the great things about all the people that I listed here, they don't care how big you are. They don't care if you're the biggest company in town or the smallest company in town. They're there for you. They're always servicing you. It's a great community to support manufacturing.
Well, I think I kind of already answered the question, but we have had so much help in this area from the MEDC, Michigan Works. For us in food, MDARD has been very instrumental, but really kind of all the programs have been brought to us and introduced to us through Spark. So we're very appreciative and happy to be here. And since John called out Brewery Becker, I'm going to call it the Eternity Brewing guys. How you guys doing? Yeah. We're both trying to get free beer after the event tonight, but
For us, Spark was, being a new startup company, networking. It was absolutely amazing, the resources that they provided, and I think it's been mentioned. They come and visit you, they talk to you, try to understand what you're doing, so that they can make those introductions. We're getting ready to roll out with one of the big three automotive companies, and that came through a contact through Spark, opening that door. And it could be, transformational for us as a business to have that kind of relationship with where we are from the stage we're at with a company. Moving forward, as we grow, and we've got aggressive growth plans going into 24, we're excited to be able to lean on Spark and some of the resources for additional staffing requirements, whether that's coding, marketing, sales, through some of the internship programs that they've had in the past and hopefully will continue in the future, and just kind of that networking piece. Another piece of it too for us, which has been really interesting, and I think early on, because of the nature of our business, we never understood the value that something like the Chamber of Commerce could provide for us. And the doors there were open because of our relationship with Spark. And we put out a podcast with Brighton Chamber, got a ton of exposure from that. We're able to share that and create some awareness around what we're doing. And so just, we're not something where we're one of the retail locations or we're a restaurant that someone can visit. But that doesn't mean, entities like the chamber can't help us get the word out, network and create opportunities. So yeah, it's been really good.
I won't add a whole lot more. I really appreciate Suzanne, you kind of going through the list, because I was fretting going through mine in the same way. And you touched on so many of the similar organizations. I mean, what's the expression? It takes a village, right? And it's, I have found, I was new to Michigan, I was new to Livingston County. Our business deciding to headquarter in Livingston County, we were new. And it was every one of the organizations that you named and others that really helped open doors for us and help us establish relationships that have been, extremely fruitful for us. And I hope the community appreciates and the give back that we make as an organization in the community as well. Because if it were not for the generosity and the networking of so many of the individuals that are in this room and those organizations you mentioned, I don't know that we would have the success that we've had today.
I think a lot of people in this room have benefited from local municipality support or Spark directly, whether it be grants or even showing up at local meetings. Let's transition a little bit into challenges and adaptations. What has been your biggest challenge here specific to location? How have you adapted your business model to support that? And what are the unique characteristics of Livingston County that would cause you to do so? Let's start. Mark, I'm going to start with you on this one.
So, probably the theme's going to be the same for a lot of us, but people for us in the manufacturing environment has been a big concern. And so a couple things we did, and my wife, who handles our HR, could probably answer this better than I can, but first thing we did was we switched from a 5-day work week to a 4-day work week. When we did that, the resumes came in a lot faster. So in the manufacturing environment, it seems like people really enjoy a 4-day work week. We're able to get 2 shifts going, so our production basically runs from 6 a.m. till 3 a.m. Monday through Thursday, with shipping and receiving, and our e-commerce division working a different schedule, working in our front office, working Monday through Friday. So we were able to get a lot of more resumes, hire a lot more people, by simply changing our operating times and allowing people a 3-day weekend. Going forward, one of the things that we're looking at is actually starting a Friday, Saturday, Sunday shift. That would be, it's kind of a unique time. We're not really sure how many resumes we're going to get when we do that, but I think at some point next year we're either going to have to add more manufacturing equipment and more people during our current shifts, or try and utilize our current assets on the weekend, which is preferable. One unique thing about that is you could have actually like a husband and wife, one working Monday through Thursday, one working a full 40-hour work week on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, never needing daycare. So we're just kind of investigating that right now, and but that's, people's our biggest challenge right now. Supply chain is still a little bit of a struggle, but obviously a lot better than it was a couple years ago.
Yeah, our biggest challenge, I don't think is really tied to or related to Livingston County, but I'm hopeful that we can kind of be the tip of the spear and change the attitude. Being in the technology space and in a SaaS startup in particular, there's kind of this stigma or perception, if you're not on the West Coast, you kind of don't exist. And so it's a bigger problem in the sense of, Michigan's got a lot of technology-based companies. There's organizations and groups for startups here and things of that nature. And so it's just about creating awareness and see if we can help build a community. Ann Arbor's done a great job of that with some of the accelerator programs. You see some of that stuff in the city of Detroit now, and it'd be great to bring something like that to Livingston County. You think about where we're located, right? We've got great educational facilities and institutions, within 35, 40 minutes, east, west, south. And so it's kind of a natural fit to try to build a technology hub and that startup community and breathe some life into that and see if we can be at the forefront of that for the state of Michigan.
I'll just add one thing, and I would echo what Mark said. It's for us, it's people, but I think the challenge really is the lack of affordable housing in Livingston County is part of the challenge we experience. You know, our entry-level positions, we're recruiting from outside of Livingston County in large part because the wage won't cover the cost of a house or a home here in Livingston. So we wrestle with that. We you know, in the event that we do bring new people on board, the desire is to live in this community, and why wouldn't you? Like, of course you do. But it's a very challenged market for folks to find a home that's affordable and live here, and oftentimes become burdened with, you know, the cost of commuting a greater distance simply because that's the reality of the climate that we're in today.
So those that know me know that I think that challenges equal opportunity, and I would agree with, I mean, we would all agree with, I'm sure, having team members being able to join manufacturing. Affordable housing is a huge issue for the manufacturing community, as well as lack of public transportation and affordable daycare for our team members.
Couple different community-related involvement, maybe suggestions there. Let's move a little bit into any community initiatives or partnerships that you have been involved with previously, and how you kind of got introduced and how it benefited your business. Maybe Suzanne?
So hedge stamping is very strongly aligned with our communities in all locations. We have community involvement teams, and so in this area we've done some work with veterans. We support a camp that's in Pinckney, which is of course in Livingston County, I believe, and it's called North Star Reach. It's a camp for children with serious medical conditions that don't have other places to go. We've worked with United Way. We have worked with the Rotary Clubs. We've worked to try and raise money for Fowlerville's Park. We've done things with the veterans. We try to find things that we can do. We also really try to support education and the school and in their communities. So those are some of the things that we do.
So we try, and when we started the company, our kids were going into high school, and so in the local community, we supported their high school, and as we've moved around, we support, our thing has been youth and education and youth athletics, so Whitmore Lake High School, Brighton, and Howell High School as well. And then the other thing that we do is we hire adults with disabilities from Skills and Abilities. And so that's been a very positive program for us, our other employees, to see and work with these adults. They've been fantastic and a good lesson for all of us, really, to bring these adults in and give them a chance. And really, we've seen a couple really grow right in front of us. So it's been fantastic.
Sorry, for us, I struggle with this question a little bit and actually feel a little bit guilty. We haven't done a whole lot locally here in Livingston County, and you know, and that's something that we need to look at. We do a lot. There's an organization in Southeast Michigan focused in Detroit, an organization called Life Remodeled that we've been involved with, kind of on a bigger scale from a Southeast Michigan perspective, but. You know, I appreciate the question and kind of the reality that we probably need to get more local because we do live here and we are proud of this community and figure out how we can help. You know, it was awesome to see the STEAM Center at Brighton High School get awarded. That's right up our alley. There's a lot that we could do to help support the STEAM Center when it comes to drone technologies, reality capture, virtual reality, those kinds of things. And so I think we just got to get a little bit more aware and understand of those opportunities and reach out and see what we can do to help more local.
Yeah. John, kind of matching that, I think there's been a big social shift in the consumer platform. On the business side, I think there's probably a lot of opportunity, like you mentioned, to partner with either like-kind businesses or suppliers or other kind of tertiary markets.
Yeah, and that's just honestly a challenge as a new business owner to understand, what you have to do to create awareness or those partnerships. And again, I'll call out Marcia because she's who we work with a lot, and Nick. But it's those visits to stop by, find out what's going on, and then introductions. And we've got to get better at leveraging that, knowing about it, and incorporate it into our plans and strategies to grow as a company.
Absolutely.
At Lake Trust, we look at it a little differently. I mean, I think a lot of companies look at giving back in the community as sort of an obligation as a result of them having been successful. We look at it as giving back is the strategy to be successful. We characterize our strategy as one of do well by doing good. And it's worked for us. You mentioned sort of the social shift that has occurred. It struck me, I had a lunch meeting with new employees of our organization. I meet with all new employees on their first day, and then within a week or so, I generally have lunch with them and we talk. And to a person, this was a class of about 10 individuals that recently joined us. It was because of the social give back aspect of our organization that they joined us, that was what was important to them, particularly younger people, millennials, Gen Z, and they want to love what they do, but they also want to love why they do it. And so at Lake Trust, we've had a tremendous number of really fantastic partnerships. An example would be, I saw Dr. Drimmer here. I can't see anything right now with these lights, but we have had a great partnership with Cleary University, for example, and we've developed a scholarship program, the Michigan Impact Scholarship Program, where in 2022, we doled out nearly $500,000 in full tuition, full ride scholarships to Cleary University. Since we started our scholarship programs, we also introduced a New Beginnings scholarship, which is intended to help people that are kind of mid-career pivot and learn a skilled trade. So together over the past several years, we're now approaching $2 million in scholarships that we've awarded in an effort to keep talent here in Michigan and in order for the community to be a thriving community. And we see upside in that. Most recently, something that we did was, many of you probably are familiar with the Streetscape project in Brighton and the impact that has had on retailers and restaurants in downtown Brighton. So we recently created a relief fund of $24,000 and awarded grants back to business owners that applied that were suffering hardship because of all the loss of business and pedestrian traffic with the Streetscape project. So, but we do that, not looking for a ceremonial picture with a check. We believe that that helps our communities thrive, and in the spirit of rising tide lifts all boats, that gives us an opportunity to thrive as well.
Much more of a proactive approach. Yeah. On the growth and expansion side, tell us, maybe think back to when your business first started here and how it's grown since then. What have been the catalyst for that growth, and kind of how you see that continuing to grow? John, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, it's been a up and down battle, I guess. We started in 2017, and everyone in the room knows that COVID hit, and the uncertainty that created. It actually created a ton of opportunity for us. So we saw this skyrocket growth coming out of COVID. People couldn't access places, couldn't travel. And so this idea of visiting facilities or locations virtually really started to take off. So we had this just astronomical growth. This last year, it's been a little bit tough, to be honest. The economy slowed a little bit, and so we've kind of pulled back. And we're starting to see that turn, and we're projecting some pretty aggressive growth again going into 24. And that's where I mentioned, some of the things that we're looking to add as we've brought the technology to market with customers. Things like marketing, sales, customer support. Those kind of teams need to get added. And we'll be looking to do that here locally through our office here, and connect resources to add those people here tied to that growth. So we have a really strong outlook for 24 for growth. So we're excited about it.
So I'll go back a little bit. So we started the company in 2013 in a small bakery that we licensed out. It was 1,200 square feet. We couldn't afford it, so we put an ad on Craigslist. If you guys know, young people might not know what that is anymore, but for other people who wanted to who was trying to start a food company. So we leased 1,200 square feet and had 3 other companies come in and rent space from us. And that was in Highland. In 2016, we moved to our first standalone location in Green Oak Township. And while we're there, we received a grant. And so we went there with 6 employees. We grew it to about 15 employees in 2019. We won a grant for our first automation packaging machine, which was amazing. And that was a grant I had mentioned earlier. And at that point, we got the grant, we bought the machine, it got installed, and then COVID hit. And so the machine literally sat in our plant for about 6 months. We went from 15 employees to 4 employees. My wife and I started making and bagging the popcorn ourselves again, just like the old days. And eventually we built back up to about 35 employees in that building in just a couple of years. And then we had to move out of that location and moved into our current location here in Howell. That's 56,000 square feet. We now have 6 automated manufacturing lines, and we have 95 full-time employees. Like I said, we run 2 shifts. Our products are sold in around 30,000 retail stores in 4 countries. And it's been, we've got a long way to go still. So as we talk about growth and opportunity, we are looking to add another 25,000 square feet to our facility. As soon as Marcia heard that, I think Nick came out with the MEDC and MDAR together in a meeting to see what they could do to help us do that. So we greatly appreciate that. And we still have a lot of room to grow in our current facility and hopefully potential add-on here down the road.
So growth for us comes from many different ways, but 2 primary ways. One is innovation, and the other is the ability to have new launches. So if you know anything about the auto industry, there's a lot of innovation going on right now. Everything from hybrid cars to EVs, total EVs, and everything in between. So those are the things that will drive for us. Now, recently, Howell, and I say recently because I take COVID out, we doubled our space in Howell. So we have a huge facility there, prepped and ready, and with all new robotic welding and all the innovative equipment we can have. We try to be in the leading edge of that, but that means that we have to have skilled workers that come from your schools and want to work in our area. So those are the things that drive our growth and the things that we're looking for.
We really have 2 paths for growth. One is sort of the organic growth of our membership and business and generating volume, and investing in sort of the infrastructure and new infrastructure. You may have noticed our branch on Grand River in Brighton has been going through a massive renovation. We have buildings like that or assets like that in our portfolio that we need to address, that we're addressing, that is from an economic perspective is kind of holding us back a little bit from pioneering into new markets because we're investing in existing infrastructure and bringing them up to date and up to kind of our brand standard. But the other opportunity for us is inorganic growth, which is through mergers and acquisitions. During COVID, we purchased a bank in Hastings, Michigan, and so those kinds of transactions, a purchase of an operating business that fits in our portfolio. Think of the kinds of products and services that we could offer to small businesses that we don't offer today, and through acquisition may be able to deliver those in a bundled set of services to our commercial and small business members as well.
So growth and expansion plans, well laid and seemingly supported by the community. As far as lessons learned, any advice you would give to a newcomer to Livingston County, or if you are brave enough to share a big mistake you've made here so far, or if you have just some points on why you would recommend Livingston County as the next place to start a business.
I guess I can. I mean, we've talked about it already, but I would say come. Like it is absolutely a phenomenal place. Employees enjoy being here. You talked about affordable housing, but it's a great place to live and start. So I would absolutely say come and do it. And again, when you think about our geographic location and the resources that we have, kind of we're at this crossroads, so to speak, and talent pool from the different universities and training institutions. The schools that we have here are phenomenal. All 5 of our kids have grown up through Brighton schools and amazing education that they've gotten and have gone on to awesome careers. Some still in development, so to speak. But yeah, it's a great place to live, and in turn, then I think it makes it a great place to have a business.
I would agree. I mean, I can't imagine a more supportive community, frankly, for a business. I just can't even imagine it. And I would say the same thing. Come here. I think the mistake, if the mistake to be made, would be by not connecting and not engaging and not committing. Because what you'll find, what you get in return for doing so is so significant. I think the mistake would be to not engage. Come here and not engage, that would make no sense. This place is very, very supportive.
I think that's exactly what we didn't do early on. I referred to it earlier, with the chamber and some things, that connection, tap into those resources. You're not burdening, these people. They love to do what they do. And create opportunities and help. So that connection, I think that's a great point.
Yeah, I think if I had to give some advice or say a mistake, I think I didn't know all the resources that were available coming here, and so I think for somebody new coming here, I would say similar. Reach out, call Ann Arbor Spark, call. Whoever the chambers, how we haven't been involved in the past, but we're now involved with Brighton Chamber and the Howell Chamber, and it's been great because you learn so much about all the other opportunities that you may have not learned about previously. So I would say, come, get involved, learn about the other resources that are available because they're out there. I'm sure there's still some available that I'm not aware of. We're working with Michigan Works right now to try and get some grants. That's things I, 5 years ago never even heard of before. So it's been great. And but I would just say my one piece of advice would reach out and ask questions and learn about the resources that are available because they're out there.
So what I would tell them is I work with a lot of communities, and this is a true community. I don't think we realize how important it is that Ann Arbor Spark works with Michigan Works, which works with LESA, that works with the school districts, and everyone seems to be working together on our behalf. And I don't think you see that in other communities. So I would tell them that. And then I'm also going to be honest. If it was a manufacturer, they had 300 people that they wanted to place, I would say, please don't come because we need workers, right? But no, I think that I really would push the community involvement, how they can help you with grants and things like that. Again, I second what they said. No one seems to, this doesn't seem like a burden, no matter what question you're asking. And I think you don't find that in every community.
Yeah, you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
And
Don't
definitely Ann Arbor Spark is very willing to help you find out. So how do we keep it going? Suzanne, I'm going to ask you to start on this one, specifically to manufacturing, but for everybody else, kind of take it a little bit more general. Looking at sustainability goals and community-focused initiatives, how prevalent is that for you? What does it mean for you? And then specifically for you, you did mention innovation in your growth goals. So how does that impact your sustainability?
So innovation definitely impacts our sustainability, and we think about this every day. Much like Lake Trust, this isn't like an initiative. It is kind of part of who we are. We will continue to support the organizations that we support. We will continue to use our voice. And I think sometimes that's the best advice you can give somebody. Don't be shy and use your voice. We have to use our voice and we have to use it together. We have big challenges, and manufacturing is in just a state of flux right now, particularly if you're in auto manufacturing. And if we use our voices and work together, we can accomplish it. If we don't, we're not going to. And innovation is really important. So innovation means we need people coming out of schools that have the skills to use the innovation. And it's much more complicated than it used to be. It is not your grandfather's job. It is much more high tech. And so getting people into our facilities and getting them exposure, I think, is also really important.
So with sustainability, so when I hear sustainability, I think of recycling and that sort of thing. I'm not sure if that's exactly what you're referring to, but so from a labor standpoint or a people standpoint, it's training is probably the most important thing for us to sustain our growth in our business. And we're talking about different training programs in-house. We're trying to get some grants for training right now. But training for us is the key to keeping employees, retaining employees. And for us, I think that's the single most important thing to sustain our business and our growth and to continue to, grow.
Yeah, I think that's spot on. The training, the education component. Virtual reality is a reality. Metaverse, right? You hear these things, we see them, we deal with them. Kids are dealing with them. It is a part of our future. And so, how do you leverage these technologies and these things that are being developed to innovate and create new tools, new opportunities? To keep the growth growing, and that comes through the education. It starts at the schools, the high schools, even the middle schools, and would love to see more training opportunities, whether that's technology centers. There's a huge labor shortage when it comes to construction, right? You hear about the trades and labor shortages, and again, it's kind of like what Suzanne said. It's not, the old riveter guy on the, I-beam 40 stories up anymore. The technologies that construction is engaging with creates amazing opportunities for the next generation to engage in, and wonderful careers, high-paying careers that are rooted in technology now. And so it's this cross between the trades and innovation in technology, and how do you get kids interested in that, or even retraining, right? Opportunities to take a workforce and kind of retrain them and do that. But I think that training education component is going to be critical.
Stacy, I'm going to interpret the question to be very much that sustainability in terms of like sustainable development goals in terms of carbon footprint and that sort of take on it. And so I mentioned earlier that, a key to our hiring success today is attracting people that are committed to the mission and purpose of our organization, and giving back is a big piece of that. Also treating the globe with respect in terms of sustainability is important to them. So it's very much, we actually kind of follow the United Nations published Sustainable Development Goals and try to build into our scorecard in terms of the performance of our company, progress we're making on some of those, clean water, access to food, right? Low crime, any of those things that we can be supporting that help advance those development goals helps us become more of an employer of choice for people that have options. And I caution though that this group of new hires, these Gen Z folks and millennials, they will sniff out hypocrisy as it relates to this very, very quickly and turn on you. Like, so if you can't just put lipstick on yourself and say like, hey, we just greenwashed ourselves and we're, come love us, we're awesome. It better be genuine, because they'll smell it out and post it on social media and you'll make your life a nightmare.
One of the things with manufacturing, certain companies like BMW or Nissan, Toyota, they all have initiatives, and they bring them down to us. So I don't speak about it too much, because it is, again, just what we do. It's what we look for all the time. We have to look for it. All the manufacturers in this area are looking at that and how we can do a better job. But it is very important to the younger generation that's coming into our workforce. It's one of the first questions I get every time I interview. What are you doing with community involvement, and how are you, helping the environment?
Almost a nuance to the new, yeah. Well, in our last, just kind of as we conclude and before we move into open questions from you guys, if you want to wrap up a little bit with maybe a highlight on either economic impact or social impact in the community that you're proud of for the business.
I can go. I think for us, having such fast growth, I think, job creation is probably, the biggest thing for us. And we want to continue to create jobs. We want to create higher paying jobs. We grew very fast. We're all in highly competitive fields, but the food industry is notorious for low margins, a lot of competition. We're trying to fight the big guys with, Frito-Lay, Snyder's of the world, and really the Nabiscos, all the big guys, and they manufacture a lot faster, a lot cheaper. And so for us to be competitive, it's difficult, but we try and create jobs that can feed families and is a working wage. And I think we moved here with, we had 15 employees about 3 years ago, and so we've created 80 jobs in the past 3 years. So we're happy for that, but I feel like we've got a lot more work to do, making the jobs we've created better and creating more better jobs along the way as well.
For us, it's not just Livingston County. We're actually pretty proud of our model to engage with subcontractors, small businesses. A lot of the people that do work for us are 1 and 2 person operations. They've set up shop. They've taken a hobby, an interest in something like 3D, and we've been able to, some of the relationships that we have with some of the major carriers or large OEMs, for them to set up their own business and kind of be independent and operate. And that's going to be a continued model that we support and push. And how can we, through the technology that we've developed, create those opportunities for other people. This isn't necessarily about, making the big guys bigger. For us, it's really about creating opportunities for those that do want to do their own thing, have some of that independence and that entrepreneurial spirit, and how do we enable that?
I would say, I think it was Suzanne that said earlier, like all these challenges, flipped over, generate opportunities as well. And so not erasing the past 3 years, because there's been a lot of challenges associated with COVID and the economy and inflation and war, and this keeps going on and on, strikes. One of the things I think I'm most proud of that we've done is roll out some products and services intended to really help people through those hard economic times. We created a micro business loan to help small businesses get launched, like get capital out of our pockets and into entrepreneurs that are creating and running businesses. We advocated very, very hard against predatory practices in the state of Michigan. Payday lenders, for example, went to bat in a battle with them. And in doing so, we're recognized that, here comes that hypocrisy word again, if we didn't have an alternative, there's a reason people were going to payday lenders. Maybe not here in Livingston County as much, but there's a reason. And so we created a payday loan alternative product to help people through when they need cash, in an urgent manner that comes with no underwriting. And it's like, if you need it, we've got it. And we've created something called a life impact loan that helps when there's a traumatic event in a family, a loss of a job or a layoff or a strike or you name it. So out of all of this sort of hardship, there is an opportunity to create impactful products and services that is probably among the most proud accomplishments I have for our organization over the past 3 years. None of those are grand slam home runs, right? It's like, they're maybe few in number and don't generate a lot of, commas and zeros on a balance sheet, but we know we're doing the right thing, and we know we're being genuine. When we say this is what we are, we damn well better be it.
I think there's two highlights for me. I could never pick just one. One is our employees. If we didn't have the employees that we have, we couldn't do a cornhole tournament to raise money for North Star Reach. We couldn't make the car that you're driving today safe. We just couldn't be. So they are the highlight. And I think another highlight is the work that LESA is doing via the employers and education and the commitment to really make sure that all companies have availability to good, strong team members in the future. So I think those are the two things I would highlight.
I think when it's impactful, regardless of size, it is very impactful. And thank you to all of these very impactful people up here today.
So if anybody has any questions, I can come around with the microphone. Any takers? Sure.
Mark Sarafa, are you sure we only have 98 employees? I think we are close to 100.
98 is 100. It's close enough. You're calling me out for two?
Well, I just hired 5 people, so I was just wondering.
I can tell you in my house, a 98 is much different than 100 when it comes to test scores.
Hi, I'm also from Lake Trust. I just want to say, Mark, congratulations, because we met so long ago, and one of the bankers on my team, Krista Colin, and I came out to your little tiny place, and I think you were about 2 years into it. And fast forward, I am so excited and so proud of what you folks have done. And when I saw that you were one of the speakers, I thought, go.
Thank you so much. That's so kind. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Any questions? Wow, you left them speechless.
We put them to sleep, one or the other.
Oh, sorry, I have a couple over here.
My name is Laura Celine. I'm from Livingston Educational Service Agency, Career and College Readiness Coordinator. And I just wanted to kind of in the same vein thank the employers up there like Trust and Hatch who've opened their doors to our students. It's not an easy task to host high schoolers, and you've hosted us for Manufacturing Day and Job Shadow Day, and we truly appreciate that opportunity to give students a glimpse as to what their future could look like. So we really appreciate that, and we'll hope to continue to partner with anyone who would love to open the doors for kids, because it means a lot to them.
Thanks, Laura. Was there a question over here? Oh. Okay. I think that concludes the panel. Thank you. November 9th, 2023 marks Veterans Day, a day designated to remember and honor those who have dedicated a part of their life to serving our country. If you are a veteran, could you please stand tonight to be recognized? We thank you for your service. For the past 3 years, I have had the privilege to work alongside my Spark colleague, Nick Jablonski. Nick joined Spark in 2019 after graduating college and an internship with the Lansing Economic Area Partnership, or LEAP. Nick started working on our Entrepreneur Services team before he helped stand up and staff the statewide internship grant program. When that program concluded for Spark, Nick wanted to gain more experience on the business development side of economic development. He joined me here in Livingston County in 2020 and quickly became a friendly and familiar face with so many of you throughout the county. As a young professional should, Nick has grown his skill set and experiences working with all of us to the point where he is ready to take on a new and more challenging role as an economic developer. Unfortunately, that new role is not with Spark, and we have to say goodbye as he departs later this month to begin the new phase of his career. Nick, as bittersweet as it is to lose you, I cannot wait to see you do great things. Congratulations. Before we bring up our final guest, I wanted to extend a heartfelt thank you to all of our sponsors tonight, Lake Trust Credit Union, Comcast, ITC, Michigan Work Southeast, Trinity Health, Brevard Construction, CoStar, Corrigan Oil, and Thomas Duke Commercial Real Estate. We are truly grateful for your support to make this event a sold-out success. And to share our concluding remarks, I'd like to invite Amanda Hoosty-Vickers with Lake Trust Credit Union to the stage at this time. Oh, one more thing. The bears on your tables, I would like to thank the Bear Factory. Jimmy Banish is here this evening, and they can be taken home. You guys will just have to work out amongst yourselves. But both VTS and the Bear Factory were Fast Track Award winners with Ann Arbor Spark this year, and so it's been an honor, and it's great to, again, work with another great business with those cute stuffed animals. So Amanda.
I just have to say, every time I come to an EDCLC meeting, I just get so many ideas and leave so inspired. So what a great night. It's been a great night to reflect on the incredible work that the Economic Development Council of Livingston County does and that they have supported over the years. I'd like to begin by taking a brief moment to congratulate our winners once again. You have all shown great commitment in investing in the growth of our community, and we are proud to celebrate you here tonight along with everyone else. I would also like to thank our panelists for joining us tonight and sharing their experiences as business owners in the area. So I joined the board earlier this year, and as a new board member, it is so reaffirming and inspiring to hear the impact that the organization has had on businesses throughout Livingston County, and to learn more about the strategies and the resources that help them get to where they are today. Each of our panelists, as well as our honorees we celebrated at the start of the evening, illuminated something special about the county, about where we are, where we live, where we work, and the things that make it such a remarkable place. We appreciate you all playing an active role in the community, and we're so glad that you chose Livingston County as your location for your thriving businesses and that you continue to contribute to the community. Finally, to our sponsors for making the event possible, and of course, our guests for being here tonight. Thank you. So with all of your support, the EDCLC has left a mark in Livingston County. Together, we have formed impactful partnerships and created many opportunities for our community through the development, expansion, and retention of jobs and capital investment. So these efforts have driven many businesses, including my business where I work at, Lake Trust, to our county. We've brought valuable amenities, not only valuable amenities, but also jobs and opportunities for collaboration, much like we saw right here tonight. So the businesses are not only fueling our economic growth, but they're also engaging and leaving a positive impact on our community, whether that be through donations, through sponsorships, volunteering, and so much more. So I'm going to wrap up tonight, but I hope you all took the inspiration away just as I did. And I really look forward to seeing you at the next Economic Development Council meeting and to have you all continue to be involved. Thank you.